What's going on, my Star Wars family, and welcome back. We got the brand new Mandalorian and Grogu trailer, which just dropped yesterday. So again, if you haven't watched that trailer, feel free to go watch the trailer, come back to the video to see the entire breakdown. But if you have, let's get right into it. Okay, so the trailer opens up with this beautiful sunset scene, which we get to see a whole bunch of X-Wings and actually a Y-Wing. It still kind of amazes me on how versatile and how timeless the Y-Wing is. Again, this was supposed to be a Clone Wars ship. We got to see it in this trailer. Of course, we got to see it in the original trilogy and even in The Rise of Skywalker. This scene to me is a clever nod to The Force Awakens when we also saw a scene very similar to this, but of course with TIE fighters. Here we get to see an R2 astromech droid with red accents. Now granted, this droid probably has no real significance, or might, we don't know of course until we see the movie, but I'm guessing it has some significance to the R5 we got to see in The Mandalorian Season 3 and of course the original trilogy, but again I could be reaching.
Never touch the buttons.
This little scene was actually kind of fun. We got to see Grogu, of course, grow up significantly in the past 3 seasons of The Mandalorian, of course, a little bit in the Book of Boba Fett as well, but he, of course, hasn't grown up enough to stop touching everything, which, again, I thought it was kind of fun. Here we get a better look at the side profile of the new Razor Crest with its silver and yellow paint job. The N1 color scheme here is very reminiscent in the new Razor Crest with the yellow and silver, even though this Razor Crest is primarily silver. I digress. The Mandalorian, of course, had the N1 starfighter himself, so maybe he looked at the N1 starfighter and thought, maybe I should do a little nod to the old original N1 in this new Razor Crest color scheme, since I already had an N1 myself. Before we move on, I have to mention this. I am happy the Razor Crest is back. To me, the Razor Crest felt more like the Din Djarin ship we know and love than the N1 really ever did, but I also feel like going back to the Razor Crest after the N1 was just a big regression. The N1 really felt like a linear progression within the Mandalorian story, and now this new Razor Crest, like I kind of mentioned, feels like a regression in terms of fan service because that was a more popular ship. Now, to me, this city right here looks exactly like Coruscant. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I know there's a ton of cities that look like this in Star Wars, but regardless, to me, it kind of looks like Coruscant.
I can use some information.
Whoa, for this price, I'll tell you whatever you want.
Here we see another Ardinian. Now, we haven't seen the species again since the original Solo movie, but it's really cool to see the species again.
I'm looking for a hut.
Close for the night. Thank you.
Now we get to see Din walk into a door with the Hutt Cartel insignia on there with the 2 bodyguards on the side. I believe these are the same bodyguards that Din fought in the earlier trailer, but I digress. It looks like he's able to actually go inside, maybe after beating the 2 guards.
Gangsters.
And here we get to see the Hutt twins, the same ones that we got to see in the Book of Boba Fett.
War criminals.
Long live the Empire.
Here we get this very interesting scene of what looks like an Imperial Council almost. It appears they are guarded by 2 snowtroopers. So here's what I'm generally curious about. Is this the same Imperial group that Moff Gideon was talking to in The Mandalorian? Probably not, but you never know. With, of course, the background and the snowtroopers, it kind of makes me wonder what planet they're on. My hope is it's Ilum. Having them on Ilum would make a lot of narrative sense, especially with the construction of Starkiller Base and also where they're at within the timeline.
We'll take out every bad guy in your deck of cards.
To me, it sounds like the Mandalorian here is kind of going back to his old bounty hunter / mercenary ways. Judging by the snowtroopers and what's going on here, it appears that Mando is breaking into that Imperial compound that we saw earlier in the scene. Now we get this very interesting shot of a New Republic style base, but I don't exactly know what planet they're on. If I were to guess, it's probably one of 2, if not a whole new planet. Number 1, it could be Nymos from Andor, or even Rogue One's Scarif.
This isn't about revenge.
Again, we're probably brought back to that Imperial compound where little Grogu is using the Force to hover a mouse droid. Now, what's very interesting about this mouse droid, it looks like it's got some upgrades. Most likely to be better equipped for the environment, but regardless. It looks like it has a thicker body, suspensions, and of course, even bigger wheels.
It's about preventing.
And here's a shot of what looks like some type of security or battle droids. Now, they kind of look like assassin droids from the Clone Wars. I know they're not, but they kind of look like it, at least from this view.
Another war.
Now, when I first saw this scene, the first thing I thought of was a Hobbit home from Lord of the Rings. Of course, that's the wrong franchise, but regardless, it looks like it almost. I know the ship is very blurry here, so it's kind of hard to make out exactly what kind of ship it is, but it almost looks like a Jabba sail barge, or at least type of Jabba skimmer type ship that we got to see in Return of the Jedi. Judging by this planet's architecture, I'm guessing it might be Nal Hutta because it's very reminiscent of Jabba's palace that we got to see on Tatooine.
Strap in.
This looks like one of those droids who was able to capture Din Djarin and take off his helmet.
You will suffer.
I know Dave Filoni loves his cameos, but honestly seeing Embo in live action is such a cool one.
And then it will be his turn.
Before going into harm's way,
We get to see little Grogu put on the training darts that we got to see him use in Mandalorian Season 3.
check your armor.
Here we get a shot of Grogu running around with the Anzellan species. To me, it kind of looks like they're on the planet Navarro, but I could be wrong.
The kid will live centuries beyond me.
This scene to me really invokes a style of Yoda almost, and also that line, "the kid will live centuries beyond me," makes me think maybe we'll see more of Grogu in the future, maybe he gets his own series, who knows?
I won't always be around to protect him.
Here we get to see Mando fighting Rat of the Hutt. I know, Rat of the Hutt, the same little tiny Huttlet from the Clone Wars movie. Yes, this is him.
Are you scared? You should be.
The planet and its background remind me a lot of Endor. This also makes me think a lot about the Empire Strikes Back scene when Luke said, "I'm not afraid," and Yoda says, "You will be."
Do we run?
I could be 1000% wrong, but this looks like a brand new creature to the Star Wars universe. Here we get to see Zeb Aurelia swing around and knock around some stormtroopers.
Or do we fight?
I like this kid.
In a previous trailer, we saw Din fighting the same exact monster, but this time it looks like the monster escaped.
What are you waiting for?
Here we have Grogu in his new pram that looks exactly like a speeder and kind of behaves like one too now. And of course we got another shot of the creature in what looks like Space New York.
Let's save the rest for after dinner.
And there you have it. That is a new Mandalorian and Grogu trailer. I am beyond excited for this movie. May 22nd cannot come soon enough. Let me know down below. Tell me what your thoughts about the trailer are. If you enjoyed this trailer breakdown or love any other type of Star Wars content, consider subscribing. And of course, until the next time, may the Force be with you and take care.